we're going to do a video today of a breaking wave. The photo that I took is from Gertine Bay in Connemara, and I'm going to do this as a series of videos so that I can show you each step, which is 4 or 5 different steps in developing the painting, but that you can follow along one step at a time. So the first thing that I'm going to do in this video is show you what I do first, which is analyze the subject, study it for a few minutes, do a small drawing in order to consider the composition. And I've got 2 main points that I need to consider in composing any picture. One is determining what is my focal point. And in this painting, it is going to be the breaking wave right here. So I need to position my focal point in the best possible place in my surface to draw the eye to. So I'm going to show you how I consider this. If I consider the rule of thirds, and that is that I can take this and break it into thirds, across and down, any point that those lines meet is going to be a good place to position your center of interest, because it's not right in the middle like a bullseye, and nor is it too close to the edge, pulling the eye out to the edge of your canvas. So when I was cropping this photo for this close-up, I already placed that wave where I wanted to be, which is about a third in and a third down. And then once I've identified my center of interest and placed it well, I then need to look at all the other elements and make sure that they are supporting and drawing the eye to my center of interest. So that means that the directional forces of the rocks and the water are all going to need to support that wave. So there are 2 things that I look for in a seascape composition that will help me to do that. One is diagonal lines and directions. So this rock, for example, is coming in at a diagonal, bringing the eye to the wave, as is this one from here, coming in from the other direction. So right now, in the cropped version, all these rocks are lined up on one side. I'm going to move those because I've got an empty space right there. So I do not want the eye coming right to this corner to look at that rock. I need to pull it in so that the eye stays within the directional flow of my composition. And in the same way, to fill this empty space, I'll refer to some of the rocks in this lower photograph and bring them in to hold that and create a kind of balancing force of these rocks against another one, keeping the eye in. So on my sketchbook, I go for the big shapes. The first one I've got is my horizon, which is quite high, and then the wave coming in here. Then there's a rock coming out from the side to meet it. And this rock is the one I'm going to move in from this corner into about here, where it will simply sit more comfortably in my composition. And then I do want to introduce a balancing force here in this corner, and I'm referring then to the lower photo here. Then I simply start to analyze the light and the dark shapes. I'm looking for my dark shapes. Here in the wave, that wall of the water is dark. Then the rock coming out to meet it. And this rock here. And those. Then I'm going to go in with a darker tone to look for further light and dark values within those shapes. So the sun was coming from behind the wave. Anything facing the sun will be lit, anything facing away will be in shadow. So the time I'm spending here is allowing me to study my subject and consider the value patterns as well as the position of all these different elements within my canvas. So I'm starting to look at where is the light hitting, and where are the shadows. And then you've got the sea coming in around it. And what I've been able to do now is find an S shape in my painting. The water is going to be coming in from that wave and moving around these rocks, creating a lovely flow that will draw the eye through the painting and straight to my centre of interest. So that's what this is about. It's not about creating a nice sketch. It's just a study so that you can prepare for the work that you're going to do on the canvas by getting your head around what is my subject, what's my focal point, where do I need to position it, what directional forces are in my painting, and have I established a good flow and a direction for the eye to follow to my focal point.